Hi everyone, I'm Lynn from Finds of Yesterday, and I just got back from the flea market and I thought I'd show you all the great pieces that I found. Let's start over here. This one is a crystal necklace, 3 layers, and look at these gorgeous beads. Now I did stop at a couple thrift stores right after that too, and this one actually came from the thrift store. Look at the gold caps on that. It is just an amazing piece. It has the hook clasp on the top, and then this piece was at another thrift store. Can you guess what brand that is? I thought it was a Trifari. I turned it over and sure enough, there it says Trifari. It has a crown over it with a copyright symbol, so it was probably from 1955 to 1969. It also has a fold-over clasp on the top. Next to it is this gold long, almost like a tassel necklace. This one was fairly inexpensive, and I've sold these quite a bit, so I thought I would give this one a try. It's not name brand, but this piece was one of my all-time favorites. As soon as I seen it, I immediately said West Germany, and look how clean it is. It's gorgeous. You flip it over, it says West Germany on the back. It's actually backwards, it looks like. And it's filigree, and I love the chain. It goes about a third of the way up, or close to a third to half the way up, with this gorgeous chain. And you keep going up, and it has a spring ring clasp on it. I paid up for this piece a little bit, but it certainly is worth it. Next, I went to a thrift store and found this Sarah Coventry. That's the only thing I found there. As soon as I seen the cross, I knew it was Sarah Coventry. I've sold them before. At the flea market, I found this lovely memory wire snake bracelet. Isn't that fun? I put it on, really just wanted to leave it on. It was so nice. Flea market, I found this Baroque pearl. It's just a nice dangle charm, if you want to call it a charm bracelet. Very nice. These are Napier spring screwbacks, spring clips, I think they call them. And this is a Florenza locket. What a great piece. I didn't realize it was Florenza until I picked it up. It has the style of Florenza, like the gold filigree, and turned it over, and sure enough, it's Florenza. What a good piece. And look at this beautiful dress clip, full of red, sparkly rhinestones, 2 shades. Probably from the 1930s. I'm looking at it thinking, is it broke? It looks like it might be broke on the top here. I'm going to have to look at that closer. I think it's missing one rhinestone, like it had broke off. It's still a lovely piece. This piece I'm going to leave sitting because you can see how it drapes. This is probably from the 1950s, 60s. And it is like a double pin on the back. And it's like a pressed gold metal, gold tone. Next to this was this Miriam Haskell. Here is the top. Well, let me flip it over. Miriam Haskell box clasp. I believe there might have been something glued on top here because it doesn't seem like... I'm starting to question whether it's a real Miriam Haskell or not, because the caps on here are different than the box clasp. It's almost like they fixed a necklace with a Miriam Haskell box clasp. It looks like a Miriam Haskell. I would be surprised if it wasn't, but look at this glass bead. That one was questioning because it's peeling, but I'm thinking I might be able to paint it and disclose that. But these are some unique beads. They're like almost like coral or like some kind of nut type of bead. And Miriam Haskell is known to use different types of beads like that. So anyway, I'm going to check more into that one before I list it. This one up here is a coral. It's kind of a light gold color, almost has a silvery look to it. Next to that is a rhinestone choker necklace. It is not signed, but it's really a lovely piece and still in really good condition. Has a little bit of tarnish wear on the links on the back. This one I need to test, but it has a spring ring clasp and it's graduated, has bigger beads down the center. And I love this charm bracelet. Isn't that cool? Orange cabochons. They are acrylic, but it is a vintage piece. Has a fold over clasp. And it has some tarnish to it. But I love the shape of the little plastic beads. They look like little roses. Next to that we have a glass beaded double strand. It's actually one long strand, but I folded it in two. It is a little bit older. It has a spring ring clasp. And of course I picked up Moon Glow. It has a pin box clasp. I don't know which one you call it, but the pin goes into the Moon Glow bead. Next to this is these gorgeous green and blue beaded necklace glass. They're kind of a bicone shape. Isn't that cool? And it's got a barrel clasp on the top. Lovely vintage piece. And here we have two, well, one's a stone. The orange is a stone. Might be an agate. I'm seeing agate. Of course, I'm going to test them first with some gold spacer beads on it and a barrel clasp. This next one looks like a check glass beaded necklace. It's a very simple one, and I have a feeling that it might have been fixed at one time, repaired, because the spring ring is not centered, but it's still a lovely glass check beaded necklace. All right, I'm gonna reset the board here and look at the next batch. All right, next I got 25 pieces for $120 from one vendor. A lot of these are glass. I believe they're Murano or Venetian at least, and vintage. Start over here. Look at this really long pearl. And it's got these funky gold balls on it, and it's in really good shape, except it doesn't have a clasp on the end. Looks like it's been repaired at one time, and they put this bead in the middle, and that's kind of the center point, but it's big enough that you can put it over your head, so it's no problem. This one has a hook clasp, and it has white pearl beads and these gorgeous AB glass, I call them oval shaped, with the gold caps. Them gold caps are usually a sign, kind of a giveaway that it's older. You don't see them used on some of the newer pieces when they make the AB glass necklaces. This red one here is a cloisonne, and it's really a nice piece. If I can get it to focus, there we go. And it has a fish hook clasp on the top. And then these other glass ones, I believe, are Venetian. Let's go through them. This one is a green one. It's got the aventurine, which is a copper fleck in it with the gold caps. Looks like it's missing a gold cap right there and there and there. Oh, I guess it is only on one side they have the gold caps. That's a pretty one. This one's kind of a turquoise color, This one looks almost like submersible beads because the color's on the inside and it's got a clear coating on the outside. And this one looks more like a Venetian one to me, or Murano, because it's got the gold caps on both sides. The last one they kind of skimped a little bit, but this one also has a nice box clasp. And it's not signed. So that is a really good piece. Then we have the red one, which looks like submersible as well. It has the red inside of it. Not quite the same as the last one though. And there again, it's only got a gold cap on one side of the bead, which is, in my opinion, it's their way of cheapening the construction. It has a barrel clasp. It is vintage. Look at the old barrel clasp on it. So probably just Venetian. And here's the yellow one. Again, that looks like submerso. Kind of looks like they need to be cleaned a little bit. There might be a little verdigris on them. With the aventurine and a barrel clasp. So they're all from the same time frame. Just not sure if they're Murano or not. I'm not going to label them as Murano, but I'll probably label them as Venetian. Then we have this lovely piece, not missing any stones. Has a fold over clasp on the end. It's kind of a short one. It's a choker. And it has a name, but it's so faded. But it is so faded. I think it was R-E-V something, Riva maybe. And then next we have this purple bracelet and necklace matching. Big chunky rhinestones, good quality made. The links on it are just heavy duty. It's not 5 links, it's 6 links. So it's not Juliana. Let's see, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And there's the matching necklace. A very nice piece, but unmarked. Then next to it, we have a coin. I think it's a belt because it has this type of a clasp on the end. But I would certainly say you could use it as a necklace. It's not real long, but it's long enough to be a nice long necklace. And look at this interesting, let's see, that is a box chain, or a book chain, I think that's what they call that. It does have a lobster claw clasp on it. It means it's probably newer, but I just love the chain on it. And the interesting way they did the links and the loops. Here we have another glass beaded one, and it has some nice, what do you call them, abstract looking beads. Some orange swirl glass beads. It's all glass. Very nice piece. And it has a fish hook clasp on the end. It's fairly long. Next to it we have this gorgeous AB rhinestone clover type pendant with a nice Greek key chain and a hook clasp. It is unmarked. Next to it is a heart necklace, puffy hearts. Puffy hearts are in. I just love this one. It's dainty enough, but it still has some puffy hearts that everybody loves. It's not real long. It's probably like 18 inches, and the chain's not real heavy, so it's a lighter weight one. Let's see what the clasp looks like. It is a lobster claw clasp. And is it sterling? It is not sterling, but it looks like the hearts almost could be, but they're not. And look at these fun long earrings. They are kind of heavy. The ball on the end is kind of heavy, but it would stay weighted down for you. That's for sure. That's fun. I like these. And we have another, this one is missing its stone. This is a necklace with tulips like hanging upside down, but I'll just glue that stone back in on kind of a tarnished chain and an older clasp. Over here are some miscellaneous pieces that came in this box right here with this mess of stuff. Most of these are tarnished pieces and some other pieces that I'm not real interested in. So I think these are marked Lisner, pretty AB rhinestones, clip earrings. This is a really pretty piece, missing a couple rhinestones that I may replace. I'll add it to my list. These are Marvella, nice little pearl drop earrings, and this is missing several stones. I'm not sure that I'll sell that. I might put it in a lot and say repair lot. Love this little celluloid piece. Let's look at the back. It's probably from the 30s, 40s, because they didn't make celluloid for much longer than the 40s. And then this piece, anybody know what dado is? Is that Spanish for dad, I would assume. And it's a nice little sterling piece. Looks like a hook or like a belt buckle. It's marked 925. And then we have 4 bracelets here. I love the little gold mesh one. This one has some nice clasps on the end. And this little flower one, it came in this box of stuff. And so did the second last one. But it's kind of a nice little leaf design with a fold over clasp. And then this lovely AB rhinestone one. It almost looks like the Lisner earrings. Let me see if they match. I believe they do. Look at that. The ends of the metal are matching and the AB rhinestones match. This is most likely a Lisner. It is marked. Sure enough. And the back is in really good shape too. So I'm going to sell them as a set. That is a great little piece right there. So that was all from one vendor. Kind of happy with that purchase today. So all of these are from one vendor, and you know, sometimes when you can't find enough vintage pieces, you buy some newer pieces, and that's basically what this grouping is. So look at the lion head centerpiece on this first one. That is a lovely belt. Lovely. I love that one. And then this was an interesting necklace to me. It has these little heart drops in silver tone, and then it switches over to kind of a frosted grayish glass with glitter wrapped or metal wrapped. I don't know, it's just very interesting little beads. And it has a toggle clasp on it, so you could wear it a variety of ways. You could wear this side as the bottom, or you could wear that side as the bottom, or I wonder if you could wear it like this. No, because it has that kind of an end to it, so you could wear it 2 ways, which I thought was pretty interesting. Or no, you could hang it this way. So you have this little drop at the bottom. I thought that was really interesting. Then up here we have some darker AB glass beaded. It does have a hook clasp on it. Look at them stones, aren't they beautiful? And it has some of these rounded, I would call them pave balls, prong set in between as accents. Really nice piece. And then this one is a mix of open bezel glass beads with some faux pearls. Nice long piece. This right here is a Kenneth Cole piece. Of course it's newer, but it's marked right here with KC. And I just love these glass beads on the bottom. That just got my attention. Up here is a Kenneth J. Lane. Of course, Kenneth J. Lane is another good one to pick up. Do you see the barrel clasp on the top? Let's scroll back up here. It's kind of a grayish blue with a barrel clasp that screws. Over here we have this sterling silver clasp with mother of pearl beads mixed with some other beads. Kind of a nice, it's kind of an interesting drop on it there. Next to that we have this, it's kind of a chunky looped with faux pearls. I really like this one. It's kind of a more modern one, but still kind of has a vintage look to it, with the lobster claw, making it probably from the late 90s, I would say, to early 2000s. Up here is a choker necklace with a hook clasp, and it's got these little acorns on it. Aren't they cute? And leaves, oak leaves. Then this next one, sometimes you wonder why you pick something up. This is one of them. So I was on a roll and I thought I seen Cinnabar, which now that I bring it home and look at it closer and take more time, it is acrylic, but it's got these lovely carved beads on it. I might put it in with a lot of a couple other matching things. It's got a nice little tassel with the beads on the end. But look at that ball tassel. The ball that's holding the tassel is really carved too. Next to it is this black, I would say onyx, with a little butterfly attached, and I love the chain. It's bar links with some black accents on it. And then we have this, reminds me of Bolero. I think it's by Monet or Trifari, one of them two. And this silver chain is in really good condition. It's long. And you can take this one and fold over and wear it at various lengths. And, you know, loop it through. And we have something you can wear at a variety of lengths and a variety of ways. Next to it is this nice glass beaded layered necklace. This is a newer piece. It does have a lot of tarnish to it, but I think that just adds to the style of it. It has these nice green stones on it, which could be glass. I'm going to have to test them. They kind of look like glass to me. But I like it. I don't know about you, but I like it. So that was the whole lot from one vendor. On to the next. All right, here's the next set. This is 28 pieces from one vendor. Over here is a lovely little charm bracelet. So it's got a key on it and hearts and all kinds of lovely little dangles. And I think some of these might have been added as time went by. This one up here, I paid up for it a little bit. It's got lovely pearl rhinestones. It's a choker necklace with a hook clasp. We have some bracelets. These are vintage. Nice little bracelet and a rhinestone one. You see the back of this. That construction definitely gives it away that it's vintage. It has them rollover links and then a fold over clasp. And this one is kind of linked together as well. It's probably not as old as the other one. This one looks like a Goldette. Nope, it's a Judy Lee. It is missing several little pearls, which I'm debating whether to replace them or to just sell it as is. I'd rather replace them before I sell it. This lovely green necklace. It is stone. It might be serpentine, might be nephrite. I'm gonna have to test it. Let's go back down here. We have this lovely glass beaded, kind of a greenish peridot color with matching earrings and seed beads on a lobster claw. It's a little bit newer. This is a nice little, looks vintage, could be a little bit newer than vintage. The chain looks old to me. You don't see that kind of a chain very much anymore. It does have a spring ring clasp on it. Let's flip it over and see the back. It's a pressed metal and it has a locket, a little heart locket on it. As you can see, it's kind of a pressed metal. That's a really cute little piece. This one here with the red is a nice vintage looking necklace with a lot of seed bead clusters on it, on a cable chain. And it is not marked. It has this little hang tag on it, but it's not marked. And an older clasp on it. And then it has matching dangle earrings. This red one is a sterling silver with red glass beads. Kind of a simplified one, but just nice. And it's got a stone center on it. And then below this we have a heart necklace. The hearts are kind of thick. They're not real puffy, but they have a filigree design. Really nice one. Over here is a gold. Looks like a choker. Look at this chain on it. It's got rhinestones in between bar links and a hook clasp. I really like that one too. Over here we have a triple pearl. No, it's quadruple pearl and AB rhinestone necklace. These do wonderfully. It's really a classic look. You can wear it anytime, anywhere, with anything. One of the trends for 2024 is wearing whatever you like and in any style, whether it's simplified or chunky. This one too is kind of more modern looking. I would say mid-century modern, but it has the whole set, which is kind of nice. It has a hook clasp, and see the chain looks a little bit older. You don't see that chain very often anymore. Not that you don't, but you just don't see it as much. This is a lovely glass bead. Listen to the sound of this. I love the sound of that. I don't know what it is, but it's just a nice quality necklace with three layers of glass. I almost want to call them rocks, but they're really clear, really nice, really clean. Good quality piece there. Next one, we have some glass beads, black faceted, with some topaz colored with little gold caps. And this is on a lobster claw clasp, and it's copper looking. I believe the clasp was replaced at one point in time, but it is fairly long. It might even be older beads that were used to remake a newer necklace. Next to it is a J. Crew, green glass beads. You can hear the sound of them. Whoops. There's a little J. Crew hang tag. And it's on one of these chunky spring rings. Next to that we have this topaz colored, almost amber color, glass beaded with some ribbed gold balls and a lobster claw clasp. This one's a little bit newer, probably early 2000s. Nice piece. Oh, and up here we have some brooches and a pair of Margarita Rivoli earrings. Them are just so pretty. They're not marked. Who would have thought they would have been marked? They do have some depth to them. Nice little earrings. And then this one is an early brooch. It's got a C clasp on it, but it has the regular hinge, which I call a regular hinge, meaning it's more modern as far as like the 1930s onward. So it's not like an early 1900 piece. It is definitely a, I would say, more 1940s, 1930s, 1940s piece. It's a pressed metal filigree cutouts, open work. The red in the middle does not look like glass to me. Again, I'll have to look at it closer. This one I love. Look at that. Little rhinestone set on pearls. And look at the prongs on the topaz colored rhinestones. How many prongs are on there holding them glass beads in? This one I feel like is a nice designer, but it is not marked. It could have been made for another jewelry company or for the department stores. Look at the depth. It has lots of layers to it. Good quality piece. This one is got some really interesting little white glass beads on it, and then the clear rhinestones are kind of darkening a little bit. Like this one in the middle looks like it's loose too. It has some darkening happening on the back of it. It has a couple AB ones, so this was probably the 1950s, late 50s into the 60s, because it's got a newer clasp on it. Newer meaning 50s, probably 60s. And then this one, I believe, is uranium glass. Let's see if I can get it in the darker area. Nope, the camera keeps lightening it up. But it is a really pretty little green stone with gold filigree. And you can see they're open on the back so the light can come through. So that gives it a little bit more of a quality to it. And it's got the rivet in the middle, so that's probably 1950s. So we have a couple more pieces I want to show you, and we'll be done here soon. Okay, we have the last 5 pieces here, and they're all necklaces. Look at the pink rhinestones. You can't resist them. I can't. And then we have this butterfly, which I believe is possibly a jade or a nephrite. But it's a huge butterfly on this long gold chain with a spring ring clasp. Look at the back. It says Gold Crown on it. Guess that's the name of the company. You can see the green. It doesn't feel real heavy. It might be acrylic, but I still think it's just a really cool butterfly. Next to it, we have this just adorable mint green freshwater pearl necklace with a toggle clasp. And then this gorgeous purple layered necklace. Many, many layers. As I got it home, I noticed that there's a lot of verdigris on it. And it's hard to clean verdigris off these links. Look at that verdigris. It's such a shame. It's such a beautiful necklace. But if you put this in like jewelry cleaner, that's the easiest way to get verdigris off of something of this substance, because you got so many links. It's hard to see in the warehouse of a flea market. So when I got it under light, I'm like, that just stood out to me, and there's no way I can sell it like that. So I can put ketchup on each little link and let it sit and try to get off the verdigris, but see how it's pulling the color off the gold, or off the clear beads there. If I put this in jewelry cleaner, it's definitely going to pull the rest of the gold off them beads, and that would not be good. It looks like it's happening on a lot of the beads anyway, so this one's a project necklace, but still very pretty beads. And I might mess up the purple beads if I do that, so I have to very carefully decide what to do. And then this one, I absolutely love. It's opalite glass. You can hear it. Just a lovely, lovely piece with these mint green stones. And then the tassel on the bottom, full of glass beads of various shapes and sizes and colors. What a wonderful piece. And it's got a toggle clasp on the top. This one I'll probably be asking a little bit more for. Plus I paid up for it. So that is it. That is all the finds I found at the flea market. Hope you enjoyed this. Hope I gave you some information that you can take back to your flea market or yard sales and buy some great pieces of jewelry. Thanks for joining me. I appreciate you stopping by, and don't forget to like and subscribe, and see you on the next one.